is.
All right. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. And today is our Panama preview. This is the must-win game, the absolute must-win game. We must have 3 points. And, you know, Panama's tie with Honduras makes this a must-win game for them, too. I mean, it's panic time in Panama. In fact, a lot of their fans are already kind of down in the dumps about Panama's chances now, and I don't blame them.
They're playing us at home. They're playing us away for them, and then home against Canada. So that's a tough. For basically needing 2 wins, that's rough.
Yeah, it is. It's really rough.
Which bodes well for us, assuming Canada doesn't fuck up again.
Yeah, and then the question is with all the yellow cards, and you listen, I would fully not expect Canada to fuck up against Jamaica, but who's their last game?
Who, Jamaica's? Or
Canada's.
Canada's got Panama last game.
Yeah. So I wouldn't expect. Wait, no. It's Panama. Okay, we need to get the schedule up here because now
they played Panama in the last game. Okay, hold on.
Let's get the schedule up.
CONCACAF World Cup Qualifying.
I had it written down.
I looked at it earlier, so let's see.
I did
Canada,
too.
Panama, March 30th, 9:05. Here, I'll put it up here. We'll throw it up in the share. Pew, and then we're gonna go to the share screen. Let's throw him up there. And as you can see, Panama, Canada, last game.
Okay. So Panama needs to beat us and beat Canada just to have any fucking shot whatsoever. And it would be hilarious if Canada lost all 3 games in this window.
Wouldn't it be funny though?
And dropped all the way down to
that put them 24th. So I mean, Panama still would never take over Canada in this. Because if Panama were to get 6 points, I'd put them at 24 points.
But Costa Rica could win all 3 and get 9. That would put them at what? What's that number say? It's too small.
6 more. That puts them at 25.
Okay.
They're at 19 currently.
So that would make them tied with Canada. And if they scored a whole lot of goals, they could change the point difference thing. But I doubt that's going to happen either. But wouldn't it be hilarious if Canada ended up 4th?
What I was going to say, they could have ended up in the playoff. Yeah, absolutely. No.
I mean, mathematically, it's
because I mean, if USA were to beat Panama, but then end up losing to Costa Rica, because that's what would happen if Costa Rica got all 9 points.
Yeah.
USA would have to make up that goal differential, which is only 4, I guess. So, I mean, it depends on how badly Canada loses the matches and how badly we beat Panama and how poorly we lose to Costa Rica. A lot of ifs, ands, or buts, but it is a possibility and funny.
Yes. I mean, the crazy thing is a lot of weird things can still happen, right? Yeah. So, and I'm glad we got that up there and then we got the schedule up there because there's all kinds of weird, twisty shit, but Panama – in a lot of mathematical ways, are pretty much done, and they're definitely done and cooked if we beat them. So they're gone. They're out. So now it's just a battle. I mean, that last game between Costa Rica and the United States, that could be – but even if Costa Rica beats us, they've got to overturn that massive goal difference they've got.
I mean, it all depends on what happens with us and Panama. I mean, if we beat Panama, then we're in, baby.
What's our current – goal difference?
9.
What is
2?
Costa Rica 2. Yeah. Wow. They'd have to make up 7 goals in 2 games. I mean, it's possible.
Costa Rica's playing El Salvador?
Yeah. They'll probably beat them, and then they got us. So
that's still hefty because let's just say they beat El Salvador. They'd have to slaughter them, and they'd be hoping that we perform poorly against Panama, which given our home record, is unlikely, but
I think El Salvador has pride, and I don't think they're going to let that happen. I don't think they're going to get crushed. But imagine if they do beat El Salvador 7-0. Oh, shit. Yeah, that would be bad.
Well,
but I don't see it happening.
Standing at that point, I mean, I guess it just depends on how. And again, if we beat Panama, we're in.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, I guess we still have a chance of getting 4th, I guess.
It's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
There
is a chance. And so we'll see how that works out. But if we win the next game, Costa Rica wins the next game, we still go into that final game 3 points ahead of them. right? So
yes,
they can only tie us in points, but then they got to make up all that goal difference too. So
7's a heavy, given that they've scored 9 in the entire World Cup qualifying. I mean, I guess they don't have to make up 7 goals. Obviously,
they're the
hope that we drop goals.
The masters of the 1-0 win, Costa Rica. All right, so before we give you our starting 11, also taking into account the yellow card accumulations, so we're not going to have Yedlin, we're not going to have Weah, and I believe Cannon was sent home, and Moore was flown in, and I know a lot of people are freaking out because Scally didn't get called in, but it's a matter of trust at this point, I think, for Berhalter, and he's like, what guys do I trust? Let's see.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was a big proponent of Moore, but then he went back to Bovista Tenerife. Sorry, yeah, I'm thinking of Moore, or not Moore,
Cannon
there. Yeah, Tenerife, and then he sat the bench for like the bulk of the season, minutes here and there. So like, we're calling somebody in La Liga too.
He started the last 2 games. Yeah, he started the last 2 games before this window.
And he's going to be our right back. That's the scary thing.
Prior to that, he had played 34 minutes in 12 games. So there you go.
I'd almost be tempted. I mean, just the limited minutes, and we'll go over this in the live stream, but the limited minutes that we saw EPB play right back, I wouldn't necessarily even have a problem there.
I think he did okay in those limited minutes for sure. And I thought he looked fine out there. And I don't know if there are any teams that are going to really threaten us going forward with a whole lot of speed. I mean, not out in the wing, I don't think. But, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Gregg thinking, let's just stick with EPB and use Moore as a backup.
So, you remember back in the day when Berhalter first started and he started out playing Adams as a right back?
Yes.
And do you remember the game plan that he had, basically that the left back or the left back would have freedom to roam up, but that right back option, which was Adams at the time, would basically pinch in and play as a number 6 in the attack.
Yeah. Yes.
So, I mean, I guess in theory, you could do the same thing. Jedi would have freedom to roam up and down. And you throw EPB where he goes up there.
I don't think that.
It would be stupid to do at this point.
Yes, that day's over.
Saying, yeah.
It's like today when, Heath and Jimmy were talking about like 3-4-3 and they concluded no. I hope he doesn't tinker like that. Well, I don't even think about that because I don't think Gregg's going to tinker. I think we're going to play 4-3-3.
Again, not in this window. Maybe against Costa Rica if we've already qualified and it's not a question like we got 1 through 3 space, then why not? You could think for what you want to.
The extent of tinkering is going to be we are playing for a tie versus Mexico, so now we're going to shift into a 5-4-1.
Playing for a tie for the last 15
to play
minutes.
This game out. Yes, that's it. That's the amount of tinkering we're looking at this point. But, I do find it really odd that, it wasn't Brooks Lennon because I figured Brooks had been around quite a bit in that last window. You'd think maybe he would be comfortable with Brooks, but instead he's flying, more in all the way from Tenerife. It could be he's looking for some offense, maybe more offense than, I don't know. Brooks got a good cross.
I was going to say, he's, I mean, don't get me wrong. Brooks is like my 5th or 6th right back option,
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if Moore necessarily offers. He may offer a little more skill in the defense and the offense, but
could you ask yourself this: why not Jonathan Gomez then too? He plays in Segunda in Spain.
Has he been playing more than?
He's been playing more in the last 4 or 5 games for Real Sociedad B than Moore. But again, people, it's going to come down to comfort level for Gregg right now. He's had Moore around. Moore was around for a lot of games earlier in this whole for what is it, Nations League?
Moore was around during
where was it?
Gold Cup.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's just say, wait a second. It wasn't Nations League. That was Yedlin and Dest.
He wasn't blowing my mind, which is why I'm not remembering it. But
I know
he was around.
He had a really stellar group stage and then kind of petered off in the knockout stage. Rounds.
The whole point
is still serviceable, don't get me wrong, but
let's just make sure we win this game so we don't get what happened to Italy happen to us. Because
no fourth spot.
I don't want to play New Zealand in a one-off.
I don't want to take a chance. Yeah, that's it. I don't want to take the chance. I mean,
just Look at that. Did you watch any of that Italy North Macedonia game?
No.
I mean, honestly, there wasn't really, you could see nothing goal-wise coming from North Macedonia. They're in extra time. It's past 90 minutes. There's I think 4 added or 5 added minutes. They're 92.59 in and bam, a rocket from 30 yards right in the corner. Donnarumma could not get to it. End of game. Italy out of the World Cup. I think that gives
second cycle in a row.
Gives pretty clear sailing. So for Portugal,
watch out, Portugal.
Yeah, well, and Portugal been known to do weird things in big games too. Look at what they did to us the last 2 times we played them in a World Cup. They did not look that good. So they are one of those teams vulnerable historically to just having bad games. But Italy, I mean, after what they've been doing for the last 2 years and building this super team, they didn't have your boy Chiesa there, but that's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing on so many levels. I'm sure they all
one player championship team does not make,
No, they've got a lot of good players on that team.
I know. It's my point.
They're not super.
They're good. They're a good team. I don't know what the hell happened to them there, but
they got a lot of old crusty guys playing defense who are almost 40 years old. But other than that,
in other words, nothing's different.
Nothing's changed. All right, this is not
the remote right there.
Yeah, this is not to pick on Heath and Jimmy at all. This is not what I'm saying.
But before we throw up their roster, do you want to just go over our roster, what we think, so we're not swayed, if you will?
Yeah. Before we pop it up, let's just do ours. We know it's Stefan.
Yeah, that's not changing, guys.
It's Jedi on the left.
Yep.
It's probably going to be Shaq Moore on the right.
Mm-hmm.
That's my best guess.
Well, who else at that point? I mean, again, it would be EPP or you throw Bello out, right? I don't think so.
No. And then in the middle is Miles and Zim.
Yeah, that's not changing either, guys.
And then in a 4-3-3, Adams plays the 6. The 2 8s will be Musa and probably Acosta again. That's my guess. It's my guess. We're doing Berhalter. We're doing reality here.
Yeah, but I'm wondering. I'm wondering though, because I mean, even though Acosta, we'll go over this in the live stream, but even though Acosta had some nice, balls into the attack. I know he set up Pulisic for a chance, and he set up that opportunity that PFOC floundered. But I mean, we're at home. Do you play Luca De La Torre and take it to them straight?
No. I think you go with the same team. This is obviously what Berhalter considers his best 11. That's what he said after the game. We decided to play our best 11. There you go. They did. And the only reason Reyna didn't start is because they didn't think he could go 90. They wanted
he will on Sunday.
Yeah. He probably goes 70 to
probably
80.
Won't play the full year, right?
Yeah. But it's funny you sent me that rating by Footmob, who wrote it's the same gal who does the 90-minute.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. She gave Acosta a 3. Everybody else, CBS 7, MLS 7.5, NBC 7, Shredder 6.5, 11 Yanks 8, Tactical 7. So, boy, who's the outlier there? What game was that chick watching? Seriously.
Yeah.
What game was she watching to give Acosta a 3? Isn't he the one who slipped Pulisic in for a shot? Isn't he also the one that chipped that ball to Reyna?
Yeah.
That Reyna chipped across to, PFOC, who PFOC'd it up?
I didn't read what followed after the 3 out of 10, but maybe it's like fucking what is build or it was a kicker or whatever it was, where maybe the 1 means that he played really well.
No.
Because everybody else had 7s and 8s.
I read her review.
Everybody else was 6.5 to 8, and then he was a 3 out of 10. I was like,
dude,
somebody just doesn't like Acosta at all.
She gave Pulisic one of the highest scores, 7.5. All right. I don't know what game she was watching, but he did not play a 7.5. So I'm not sure what game she watched. I don't know if she just has it up her ass against Acosta, but I thought Acosta played fairly well. He wasn't an 8. I'm not saying that, but he wasn't a fucking 3. All right. So we finished the midfield, Pulisic on the left, Reyna on the right. Now here's the big question. This is my guess. You can have a different one. I'm going Ferreira. I'm starting Ferreira in this game against Panama. And the reason is Pepe showed me nothing. That's not all his fault.
Well, I mean, he didn't have, he definitely didn't have any opportunities. However, I thought Pepe had a couple of really nice plays of hold up and distributing it out wide. That I went like, oh, it's good work there, Pepe.
A couple, but then a lot of them, there were also a couple, maybe more like a few, that just bounced off of him. He's unable to snag it in and get it to his feet. Now, some of those were reckless passes, and some of them were bombs too.
Yeah, you got to take everything in consideration there.
But if you know what's around you, you can chest those off to somebody or head it down to somebody or something. But it's not easy to do. It's easier said than done.
It just boggles my mind how we don't get anything out of our nines. Now, mind you, technically speaking, one of our nines should have had a goal against Mexico, but we'll get to that later.
We will in the live stream. So
I'd be fine with.
We did in the live stream.
Yeah, good point. You'll be seeing as much afterwards. Yeah,
right.
I would be fine with Ferreira. Absolutely would be. I could see him sticking it out with Pepe and then bringing Ferreira in afterwards, but I'd be fine with Ferreira either way.
Man, did you see how devastated PFOC was after the whistle blew at 90 minutes?
Sure, I bet you he feels like shit because he's like, man, I've been netting those all fucking season.
I know he fell
all season,
dude. He fell to the ground, face first. I mean, and just was like, I cannot fucking believe that just happened, and nobody helped him up. I was like, somebody help him up. God,
yeah.
Everybody makes a mistake on occasion. Somebody grab him and pull him off the ground. I felt bad for the guy.
All right, so that's our 11 guys. That's who we think's going to play, and then we're going to get into Heath and Jimmy's 11 here. Go over that really quickly. I gotta say, I feel like maybe some people might be looking at this and say, "Man, they're picking on Jimmy and Heath a lot."
I'm not picking on Jimmy.
Picking on them. We're not picking on them.
I'm not picking on either. I mean, listen, they regularly put my comments up on their screen, but they never put the one comment on the screen that everybody says, "Hey guys, we don't play a 4-2-3-1. I'd like it if we do, or we did. I like a 4-2-3-1. It's one of my favorite formations." But to continuously put that up, I'm at this point just going to put it off as it's got to be the producer fucking that up. And they just don't want to say anything because we do not play 2 6s. We just don't. We don't play 2 6s. And so this cannot be them. And I wish they would at least address it and go, yeah, okay, this isn't exactly the formation we want, but this is. But these will be the players. Down,
though. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this more or less what we said. I mean, outside you said Ferreira, and I said I could see him playing Pepe. So with Heath, I agree. And it's funny. It's funny because when you, I think Jake with FIFA America had he had a screen cap of basically where all the players played most of the game at. And they showed, Weah was out wide right. Pulisic had basically pinched in right on top of where Pepe was. And so given the tendencies of Reyna and Pulisic, they might pinch in more. And you might see something closer to this in the middle of play. Not necessarily what Berhalter throws out there, but as far as play is progressing, you might see something more like this in the end.
Okay.
Not saying that Berhalter's deciding that, but that's just the players' tendencies because Reyna and Pulisic both want to come into the middle a little.
No, this is fine. I'm talking about the middle 3. You go to the video of the last game and you hit pause at any point during the game, and you will not see Musa playing as a center attacking midfielder. So he will usually be on one side, Acosta will be on the other side, and the guy backing them both in front of the back 2 is going to be your man Adams.
Oddly enough, Musa, according to the map that Jake put up, Musa actually played closer to Adams back, and Acosta played more up, which ironically I would say I'd prefer that to be reversed if they're going to play one more defensively.
What side did Musa? Who did Musa play behind? Was it
Musa played behind Weah and Yedlin?
Okay,
but again, this is they had they almost had like a perfect triangle. So maybe it's just as far as how they worked together. Whereas again with Pulisic, he pinched in more or less in between Pepe and Acosta, and then Robinson had full length of the field to run up and down, which is probably why he was gassed.
I get all that, but Adams sat deep,
sure,
constantly, and he let Acosta, and who didn't get much involved in the offense until later in the second half, and Musa play further up the field. And God, I wish my memory was better, but I swear to God, I thought Musa played left center midfielder. I thought he was on the left side of the
no, Musa played on the right. Acosta was always on the left because there's always a wide open gap in the defense.
I'm getting the field switched over second half from first half. Okay, yeah, you're right, but still,
okay. Just because I want to tell you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So here is the heat. Basically, heat map all condensed down to where they basically played. See Acosta and Pulisic and Pepe all together right here.
Mm-hmm.
Jedi's got this. And Adams and Musa almost played on top of each other.
Yeah,
give or take. But then again, there's a perfect triangle here, which is what Jake was pointing out.
But didn't you think that most of the attacking play went down the left in the first half, and that's why you're seeing this? I mean, think of all the times Robinson had the ball on the left and how we try to force it to Pulisic quite a bit. So I don't know. I'd like to see this.
I don't know. I seem to recall. I don't know. I seem to recall Mexico going down our left. They're right more often than not.
So is this defense and offense mixed together?
That's a great question. Don't know.
Okay. So then I can't. Yeah. It's hard for me to use this map.
I'm just going off of what I was talking about. I just wanted to show you what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Rather than me constantly describe everything.
I just think it would be more important if I could see a heat map. And God, I wish I would have found one today. I could have found one probably. And would have pointed out that Acosta clearly hangs behind on offense, Musa and Acosta. He is the 6. They are 8s. Now, if you want to tell me one of the 8s is more of an...
Adams was absolutely...
If you want to tell me that one of the 2 8s is more attack minded, okay, I can have that conversation. But that's not how this is lining up. And
no, I don't disagree with that.
So there's Heath's, and Jimmy got almost the whole thing right as well, except he's got Cannon in red, and
which
that's
again,
because Cannon's not going to be there.
So we talked about this beforehand, but it's most likely this was all set up and ready to go, maybe even recorded live prior to the announcement that Cannon was shipped home.
No, it was a live stream. They knew. It was a live stream. They knew. That's why they made Cannon red.
Why not just substitute him out? I mean, the graphic, that should have only taken like 5 seconds to do.
You would think. Maybe it's the same producer who can't figure out we don't play a 4-2-3-1, though. So I'm not, at this point, I don't know if it's I don't think it's them at this point. I mean, if it is them, okay. Well, then they're just wrong. We don't play this formation.
So I guess if they were to say change it to a 4-1-4-1, would you be okay with that?
No. I wouldn't, because that's not what we play.
4-1-2-2-1.
No, because this is not what we play. But a 4-1-4-1, I guess he could shape that around and mix it around and make it look like something we play, but it isn't. How we play is so obvious. If you go back and rewatch the games and you hit pause at any time and look how the players are strung together, you draw lines between all the players on the field, it's so easy to say, oh, yeah, 4-3-3. We're playing 4-3-3. It's fucking obvious, especially when they have the ball deep in their territory yesterday, Mexico. You had 3 guys chasing the ball up high, 3 guys right behind them, and 4 guys right behind them. So that's when we didn't have the ball. And so in an offense, the only thing you could say is, Yedlin made no attacking runs hardly the whole game. And it was mostly Robinson making the attacking runs on the left. And then Yedlin was mostly fucking up when he did make attacking runs on the right. So, but that's how the 4-3-3 in Gregg's system operates. I wish we played a 4-2-3-1. I think it would be great because I would play fucking Reyna in that 10 spot immediately.
Yeah. I'll argue I'll split some hairs here and basically say that when Pulisic plays, he does not play as an outside wing option predominantly. He'll be out there every now and then, but he pinches in a hell of a lot
They must
over here.
They must be asking him to do this.
Possibly. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't necessarily do that for Chelsea. I mean, he stays out and then he checks in when he has the ball. That's a bit different than checking in to receive the ball here.
Yeah.
But I mean, Weah's always out here. And that's why he gets more dangerous crosses and stuff, is because Pulisic comes into the middle, he always gets hacked and slashed here.
Yep. But
I mean, if you moved Costa up, moved Musa over, and Adams down, I mean, it'd basically be a 4-3-3. I just feel like Acosta's misplaced here.
Yes, he's not a dual 8.
A dual 6.
A dual 6.
He's not an 8. He's not an 8.
He's not an 8, but
he's not playing a dual 6.
He played an 8. He does not play a dual 6 with Adams. So again, we need to just, I think, like, okay, the only reason people will feel I'm picking on them is because I brought this up multiple times, but it's also because I watch their shows. Yeah. Right? What does that say? I'm a fan of their show. I watch their show because I value their commentary. I value their insight. But I wish they would just take up the elephant in the room, because I'm not the only one saying, hey guys, we don't play a 4-2-3-1. Can you please stop putting this graphic up?
Jimmy might get on your case about the formations.
I think, well, yeah, remember, Jimmy recanted on formations. He did. When we had him on the show, Jimmy said, I was wrong. Formations do matter. Because, 8 years ago, when we had him on the show, we said, you guys are you're too buried in formations. Formations don't matter. And then last show, he's like, yeah, I was wrong. Formations do matter. Yeah, because
we're this prickly about formations
even
a decade ago.
Yes, even then. And but Jimmy's getting his A license, so I think he's starting to figure out how important formations can be.
I have no license, but I still looked at that and said, well, that's they're placed in those positions because they have a job to do. They may not necessarily remain in those positions, but this is how we set up, and this is how we're supposed to be playing.
If you took my high school soccer team on our run to the state finals, and one of those games you said, listen, we're going to play a 5-3-2-1, okay? We would all been, what? What do we do?
Fucking Christmas tree.
What do I do in that form? I have no fucking clue how to play that goddamn shit. So if we came out and played this 4-2-3-1, I think the players would be really confused about what to do, because that's not how we practice, that's not how we line up, and it's not how we play. So all I'm saying, guys, get your producer on this shit. Fix this. I mean, Jimmy got it right last show. He had a 4-3-3, standard 4-3-3 on his screen. And I even typed into Heath, I said, at least Jimmy has a 4-3-3, and he put it up on the screen. And I was like, okay, they got it. They're getting it. So when I was watching today, I'm like, I bet you they fixed this. They're going to get it right this time. No. All right.
Maybe their producer's going, Acosta's not an 8. So clearly they must mean he's a 6.
I mean, you remember the one time Herc's producer did him dirty on the lineup?
Yeah,
it was a total fucking disaster.
So bad.
And Herc even looked at it before he started talking about it, going, he gave him kind of like that sourpuss face. Like, what the fuck is that? That's not what I gave you. All right. But so I guess we should make some predictions, because we got 8:15 coming up right up our butts here. So let's make some predictions for this game. I say we win it 2-1.
I'm going 2-0.
I would love 2-0, because that would be a lot less nerve-wracking, wouldn't it? Just be up 2-0
basically,
whole game,
We're going to win 5-0, guys. I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
Man, that would be fantastic.
Either that or the weather's changing. I can't tell.
I mean, what if Honduras really is deflated after that tie with Honduras, and they're just ready to...
Panama is?
I mean, Panama's just totally deflated after that tie with Honduras, and they're like, fuck it. Our chances right now are mathematically infinitesimal.
I talked about this with Mexico, and it almost worked in what basically was what I was saying, is that Mexico was always going to attack, and that's going to open up the attack for us, because that's how we play. We play that high press, and it's just going to open it up the field for us to move forward into the attack when we had the ball. Whereas when we play a team that plays a low block, we struggle to figure out how to score on a low block.
But that's the thing. When we played Panama, they didn't really play a low block.
Yeah, but we also played like a...
They played like a middle block, and they pressed at times too. I don't think that's Panama's ingrained in their culture.
I hope not. I mean, regardless, they've got to get that win. So they're not. I doubt they're going to sit on the low block regardless. They're probably going to take it to us.
Yeah.
And again, that could play in our benefit.
It could. Now, I mean,
I'm sticking my 2-0 win.
Yep. Okay, I'll go 2-1. just to make us all nervous, but I think we're winning. And that's what the important part. And we're going to come back. Actually, if you missed the live show, it was yesterday. This show we actually recorded before the live show as a preview for the Panama game, but we're about to now leave you guys. We want to thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. And also, after the game, we will be joining Pete and 11 Yanks live right after the Panama game. And we're going to be talking what happened. And let's hope we're all in a good mood. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want. So we'll see you then. We won't be doing a show right after Panama because we're going to be doing Pete's show. And we'll see you there.
It will be on our normal time Monday.
That last show they did had 13,000 views. It's fucking insane, man.
Killing it.
So join us there. Bump up those numbers. Maybe we can get it past 15,000. Let's try to do it. All right. Until next time on the Straight Red Card, go USA.